they dropped a game to T.W. Hunter Tuesday night, 20-6. It was 8-6 at halftime, and just kind of got away from a team. It was really questionable about the heat. They did ask the teams to, kind of like last night, they asked the teams to do the warm-ups without shoulder pads on. And so, everybody had to kind of change up their warm-ups on how they do things. Um, Practice-wise this week, the last 2 days, we've had to go anything we can do without shoulder pads on, we did. And then during team, we'd put shoulder pads on and win contact. But it was probably one of the better practices we've had Friday, second half Thursday, and Friday. So it was good to see the kids being able to adapt to the heat and everything. But Schaefer comes in Tuesday night here at Edgar Johnson Stadium. The game will be at 6 o'clock. Schaefer's 2-0. Watching film, you're kind of wondering how they got to be 2-0. But they're 2-0, and Portland Middle School is 0-2 right now. Everybody thought that combining the schools, you'd have just a juggernaut of a team, and you still have to bring the teams together. They have to sit there and learn each other and play with each other, play together. I think they're getting to that point, talking about the middle school football. The good thing is the first 4 games of the season is non-district. So you can go 0-4. Don't want to do this, but you can go 0-4, win your last 4, because the last 4 are district, and still go into the county championship. So and that's how they got that all split up. Let's see, that's middle school football. Girls soccer, they have started out 2-0 or 1-0 from what I can decipher off the Ball Frog app. On the 11th, August 11th, girls soccer beat Smyrna 7-1, and they said that was varsity. And then on August 13th, they beat Franklin Simpson, and they had next to it on Franklin Simpson's side JV. So I didn't know Franklin Simpson played JV and that's all they played, or anything like that. But it sounds like the girls are off to a good start. We knew that they had a lot of good players who played basketball. We got to know them through this past basketball season and everything. But it looks like they're off to a 1-0 or 2-0 start. They do play the 18th this week at Kirkwood, which is in Clarksville, and they do play at 7 o'clock. Talking about girls soccer. PHS golf had a match this past week versus Green Hill and Gallatin, and how they do the 3-team scramble and how they show the score, I don't understand it, because you got 3 teams, but they show 2 scores. I know we shot a combined 359, and whoever else shot a 293. And so looks like we lost by 66 points if I'm doing the math right. So, or 66 strokes, I guess you call it. So,
me playing somebody.
But but again, I don't know how you get 3 teams and you only have 2 scores. So I don't know how maybe we'll get the golf team on here. We can ask how they do that. So
the golf team on here would be fun.
Something distinct.
As long as they're honest about them melting down on bad chances. That's what my son, when the golf was Tiger, he grew up in the Tiger Woods deal where everybody wanted to run and play golf.
Yeah.
And Craig Ballantyne were so funny because one of them would have a front 9 that was really good. The other ones were bad and clubs flying all over the place. It'd flip the second 9, the other one. So that was, I would always just smoke a cigar and sit on the cart and laugh at them.
But yeah, but other than that, guys, school started. We got to figure out a schedule. We can try to make some of these games, and we got girls soccer we need to do, and I don't know if we can ever do golf.
It says here that both Gallatin and Portland are 359 and Green Hill is 200.
Okay. So I guess we came in second. I'll
couldn't
take
really
that.
do golf. I mean, you could if you wanted to have fun and just if you got a cart. Because
You go
we
around the
can go
cart.
mobile,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
Go around, but I don't think they
Will they let us do that?
interview people. I don't know.
Well, you got so many players, you'd have everybody on different holes. So
Right.
we'd have to
It
go
would be-
from
it would be
hole to
tough.
hole.
Isabel Woods scored an 85.
There you
Easton
go.
Harden with a hole in 1.
Shout out.
Easton Harden.
Easton got a hole in 1.
Mm-hmm.
They say where they played at?
Galton. It does not say that, sorry.
Nice, a hole in one.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like the hole in one picture says Long Hollow, so there you go.
It's a nice
Okay.
golf course.
Always go by it. Never been there. I'm,
Oh, hole number 2. Wow.
I'm not a golfer.
So there's
So-
a thing called Net Uptime Monitor for Windows that will alert you when the Wi-Fi drops. So I need to download that app because when our Wi-Fi dropped a little past the 1 hour into the show, I had no idea because I'm not going to sit there and watch the bottom of the screen for a first picture to pop up. So I'm going to get that app so it'll tell me that your Wi-Fi is gone so I can make appropriate actions then.
PYFL. I don't know, Kyle, if you got that information or not. Let me see if I
I
can
saw
get.
the new building. It's
Yeah,
Pretty nice, ain't it?
very nice, yes.
we'll see if they got room for us to broadcast in there.
And the little walkways going across is kind of cool.
Long way coming. Now that you mention it, it's just exciting to see stuff like that.
I know that so they had POFL had a Warrior Bowl, and I think that is they went to White House, and so last weekend PYFL went to Warrior Bowl is what it's called. The littles, which is 7 and under, ended up being 1 and 1. The 9 and under mids, they ended up being 1 and 1, and the score was 1-1. And the 11 and under bigs, they ended up being 1 and 1. The post says it was a great opportunity for players and coaches to compete, learn, make adjustments, and continue preparing for the start of the season. Up next is the Panther Bowl. So I think that might be today. It's the Panther Bowl, and that's where they got teams coming in from outside, coming in today over at the park to compete and have games all day long to do the Panther Bowl. Sorry. They do have the building up, the new building and press box, and it looks big enough that maybe we can get up there with Robert, who's doing the PA for the. We'll do a couple Saturday shows up there and maybe broadcast a game or two. But again, stuff that we want to do, we now have to find the time to do that, and make sure everybody's schedule is good and everything. So, but last night, the week ended with last night with the high school had their jamboree, and I know a lot of people are questioning on why they have the jamboree and why did they do it like they did, because everybody's used to the jamboree. I have been asked when somebody goes, "Well, jamboree, who you got coming in?" Well, we're playing one team. We're playing Westmoreland. Well, that's not a jamboree. A jamboree used to be 3 or 4 teams coming in. Well, things changed, and they keep the same name. But from my understanding, we had some nagging injuries. We wanted to rest, and this is a good time to do it. This is the last dress rehearsal, per se, before the season starts. Do you want to win? You just want to make sure you execute and you get out of there with no injuries is the biggest thing. It doesn't matter if you're having a good practice for the last week or two with your starters, then guess what? Go ahead and sit them. NFL does it. You only get one game, and it was the third game. The third game out of the 4 games that NFL they have their preseason would be the ones that the starters played a whole half, and still even some won't play. You get the older quarterbacks, Brady. I can't think of his name. I see him right now. He played for the Packers, and he's everywhere now. Quarterback's been in the league for 20 years now. Rodgers, thank you. He's not going to play in none of the games, I guarantee you. If he does, he'll play a series, and that's it. I guarantee it's going to be a handoff and maybe a quick pass, just enough to where he ain't going to get back and get hit. But it's kind of the same thing. In my opinion, do you want to win? Yeah, to a point. You're just trying to show the community, this is what we got. This is a product that we're bringing. And last night, a lot of people was trying to figure out why just have the JV stuff and everything. Again, it is you're trying to make sure your players who you're going to use during the season are ready to go. You don't want to go into White House. You don't want to go into the first game of the year. You don't want to go into the biggest rivalry game that you've got limping with 2 or 3 people suspect. that's where you want them to make sure they rest. And with the heat that we've had this week, with the injury, nagging little, I mean, it's just ankle injury. Can we tape it up and can you play? Yes, it was Friday night, ready to go, real game. You had 2 or 3 of those guys who could play. All 7 of those starters who sat out could play. So that's not. It just, you wish you had maybe a better showing. In my opinion, you wish you would have had a better showing. The showing against Gallatin was great. That we flew around the ball. We had success defensively and offensively with what we did. I think last night I did see a couple blitzes by the defense, but basically you're going to go in just kind of be basic with some of your guys, and your play calls are going to be basic. We didn't run the inside reverse. That's no secret. Everybody who runs a wing T, double wing offense knows that you're going to run an inside handoff. But I know I got several texts from people asking, why didn't they start? Why didn't they play? You're asking the wrong guy. I have no idea why Coach Dupree sat there and decided with that. I can only guess that it's going to be making sure that you're that everybody's ready to go for White House. So, Coach Thayer, you were there. Kyle, I don't know, was you there last night, or did you listen or watch or whatever? We did have it on video, so I did have a couple people sit there and say, "Now my camera was not good. Me moving the camera around was not
They
good."
didn't like it.
Huh?
They didn't like it.
They didn't like it.
I don't know. I thought
Oh,
you said they
no,
did.
I didn't like it. I didn't like myself. I was a little late on a couple things.
Yeah, it's a new
But-
thing. I was late on the scoreboard. My wife texted me 3 times like they scored, and then she finally had to run up and say they scored. I go, I'm not used to the scoreboard being on it, but it's nice that we have it. So
Yeah.
as long as we get reminders to
So,
update scores, I think it's
we'll get
gonna be
better as we
cool.
go.
I ordered the new camera last night, so
And the thing
hopefully
is
we'll have that for the Tuesday.
Starting
game.
next Friday, Brandon will be the one controlling the camera,
Yeah,
not me.
the high school game.
So the Friday night will be a whole lot better. You'll have zoomed in views. You'll have zoom it out. It'll be professional pretty much. So
In the middle school camera, hopefully I'll have it Tuesday.
but
But I
it's,
had a lot of great input on the middle school. Having the video.
my dad
Yeah,
called me and said he really did like it. That y'all
I
did
had
good.
a lot of people just reach out and go, they liked it a lot.
So
Hopefully the camera will be better.
I'm glad that we got that in. But what was your synopsis, Coach, from seeing it last night and everything?
I don't know. I'm looking forward to Friday night's game. That's that's all. I'm just not. I don't know. That's good.
Where are you gonna be sitting at?
We're gonna hopefully once the AD gives us the okay, Donna Sadler's gonna drag us a wagon in.
Wow.
You can throw. We used to put tobacco on the wagons, or you can do hay rides on them, or you can do whatever you hay on the hay. Hopefully, we're going to get approved to bring the wagon. If not, Curtis has got a truck, and we're all for not going to be able.
And we still have to get approved to get the truck inside.
Yeah, that's true
And
too.
so here's what I've seen. I've watched us go over to White House as a broadcaster, not as a coach. It's bad enough as a coach, but as a broadcaster, try to get through the gate. And normally you can go up and go, "Hey, we're with the broadcast crew," and normally everybody goes, "Cool, going in,"
I've never had a problem.
Yeah, White House. We did that one year, and I can't remember who was with us. Me and Fred went in, and it might have been Robert. Robert might have had trouble getting in. They tried to make him pay,
Cool.
and it just so happened Curtis was coming. Of course, Curtis has 800 media passes, around his neck, and he vouched for him. But they was going to make him pay everything because we didn't have him on the list and everything. But we've gotten better at trying to put ourselves on the list and doing all that. But it's always something. And the thing is, their stands just like everybody else. This past year in Sumner County, we all got the engineers came around, checked the stands after the ones fell down there at Beach, and found out several of them needed to be replaced. Ours had to be replaced on the home side.
But they would be Robertson County,
Everything.
right? Since the stadium's
The
technically
stadium's in Robertson County, yeah. So, but again, here's my question. I was talking to Coach Dixon at the middle school, and we was talking about this. I think someone over in, I don't know, it's Red Bull in the Springs or someone over there, they're now they can't have stands, or Macon County, it was Macon County. Yes,
really?
They're having to redo their stands because they came up to be unsafe. And,
Well, I
and
figured
like we
Red
was talking,
Bull wouldn't have a problem. No one ever sits in theirs anyway. But,
I was gonna say that.
but at least they don't quit. They
But
keep
it-
trying. It's a
But here's
small
the thing:
community,
if
dude.
you're a community and you see this county next to you, and you're going around and going, hey, we had these stands fail. They're made out of concrete. They've been up here for 40 years. Okay, maybe we need to go around in our county and start checking these stands if they're concrete or made out of, whatever, not the aluminized stands that everybody's going to nowadays. Would you not have that? Would you be something you go, hey, maybe we need to check ours?
You're setting me up
And
here.
say, no, I'm not.
You're setting me up to give you my real opinion. But
Yeah,
I'm not gonna give you
yeah,
my
man.
real
Oh,
opinion.
come on. So you would think a community would sit there and start doing that. And I'm assuming that Macon County did not. And so they finally did. When they did, that their stands, I believe, is unsafe. and
And the thing
everything.
about Macon County, you can do it in a half a day. I mean, right? How many schools have football fields in Macon County?
True. Very true.
Two, right?
Yeah.
Because Westmoreland is in Sumner County.
Yeah. Westmoreland, Sumner County. You got Macon
County
and
Heights
Red Borland.
Springs.
Yeah.
That's going to take you a lot of time to get that done.
But I don't know if that's what happened with White House. If they checked those visitor stands, I know the press box
The
sucked.
press box
It
has
was
been
just the
bad.
press
I
box.
think we jumped out of it last time or something. I don't remember. We got the little
But,
extension cables and set out on the thing.
And so, but they've been bad. They've been bad for a while. So when I was watching game film of Schaefer and White House this earlier in the week, I noticed. I said, "Where are they playing at?" And I was like, "Oh, that's White House." And I was like, "Oh, they done tore everything down over there."
Even the trees, right?
and put the concrete
Some of
slab,
the
yeah.
trees are gone.
And put the concrete slab
Which
in
is
so
sad.
they can have their permanent stands once they get there. But supposedly they're going to truck in temporary stands. And of course, I've had a lot of people sit there and go, "Well, I'm not sitting in those stands." It's the same stands that we had for us when we had to condemn the home side, and we put the extra stands on the side there. It's the same type of stands.
Yeah,
is what they're bringing in. They're going to be
They're really
safe.
going to be that
How tall are they going to be?
detailed.
Yeah,
I
that's the thing. Maybe if we get there, who knows? We'll
the
broadcast from
wagon will
somewhere.
be fun. We've got the canopies. Can't bring.
We can
my,
always go up to the home
can't bring my
side.
blue one. I forgot all about that. It's so Donna and them. They're going.
But-
Quarterback club's going to let's use the purple ones.
But there is, I'd say, saying that a lot of people are sitting away from the scoreboard, the concession stand, and in the home side is where a lot of people
have
are
been
sitting.
in that little bowl anyway.
Yeah.
Recently, in recent years.
And you got on the scoreboard side, you got the hill down there also.
Yeah.
So, and
So
you got
hopefully
everybody trying to figure out, the band's trying to figure out where they're going to have to sit and go and all that. So it's something that you'd think would have been talked about more than just a week prior to the game. But then again,
Well, White House's stands are okay. It's the visitor stands that aren't. So
well, true, but you still think
But
that
well, you would
Yeah.
think, but that's the whole point. Other than the gate money,
Part
they
of the
don't
mind
care.
game, so
Yeah,
to say.
they don't care if we come or not. You know. They're sad because we outdraw them, and it makes them mad.
true, very true. So, but yeah, it all starts next week and everything. The season starts next week. Everybody, I think there's a lot of teams. Last night played the starters for a series or two, if that, and then they kind of pulled them because, like I said, you don't really want to play a starter a whole half in the jamboree. You want to play a quarter, maybe a series or two, and pull them and go, okay, we're good.
Yeah.
We're good with our starters. That's what we're going into the season with. Our backups. Let's get our backups in, and now what frustrated me last night, you heard me on the radio on the broadcast, was the referees and their clothing policing. It's just, so how they sit there and it's safety for the players. The pants below the knee. The pants below the knee ain't going to be no safety if you get hit in the knee. The knee pad down there, it's not going to sit there and be no safety issue if you actually get hit in the knee. Okay, so to me, go away with the knee pads. Let the pants be wherever they need to be, is my opinion. The shirts hanging out, it looks trashy. I think as a coach, I would sit there, and we had to deal with the same kids last year. We had to tell them last year because the referees come into the locker room before the game and say, hey guys, any of those rubber bands you have on your arms and everything have to come off. Any jewelry have to come off. You can't have wristbands up above your elbow. They have to come
So
off.
they tell this to the kids.
Yeah, it's kids
So,
and the
you know,
and the
if my
kids and
aren't
coaches.
listening, and I got a problem with my kids.
Kids and coaches. They
Because
to
the
put them
rules are
all.
rules. Like baseball,
You
you got to wear
can't
double
wear
flat
the,
helmets, you got to use the drop three. If I don't watch you when you come up the bat. What
Exactly.
bat you're using. If you're using an illegal bat and you get called out on it, one is you're embarrassed me and the team. And so if they're aware of these
Yeah.
rules, then I got a problem not with the rules because you can't do anything about it except go
Be-
vote every year.
Because the
TWO
referees
states.
come into the locker room and they walk around, and
Yeah,
as they're
we
as
need
our
to-
kids are in there getting ready and getting dressed, they'll sit there and go, "Hey, coach, you can't have the wristbands of the." I couldn't imagine trying to put a wristband on my calves anyway because it ain't gonna happen. But you know, your receivers in your backs who's got the little skinny chicken legs, they can sit there and put them on there. You can't have that on there, you know, and stuff. So
Well, the one time
Uh,
we lost a football game once because of a knee or something. Remember the kicker had to come out.
yes,
of the shoulder?
yep,
And he'd have made it. Was it an
Yep.
extra point? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he'd have made that. We'd have won.
it was an extra
But
point.
I hate to throw
He
it on
had-
him, but if he knew that you couldn't do that,
And we
he
just
did-
had a kid get sent off the field
and
for
he did
that.
it anyway,
Yes.
then I got a problem with that.
Yep.
Because
So we had to put our backup kicker in and move back 5 yards, and we missed it.
and 'cause
That was
in life
White
you
House.
have rules.
It was White House 3 years ago,
Yeah.
4 years ago. It was playing here, and we lost the game 7-6.
Yep.
Is
I
what it
got
was.
a problem with that. And life is full of rules. You've got to learn to follow them. If you don't like them, change them. Don't
Yep.
complain about them, right? Anybody complain. Do something about it.
Yeah.
Go find out when they have these meetings, present your case, and maybe you can get it changed. But just ignoring it is not a good thing.
But the
If
reason
you're
they
going to affect your team.
the reason they sit there and say that you can't have the little rubber, you know, whatever sayings you got on the
Right.
little rubber bands or the wrist things, is because people will get your fingers get caught up in there, and it could be okay. That's fine. That's cool. It's the same thing if you had a wrist coach on. You're gonna get a finger caught up in there.
Yeah,
They can
for
do the
real.
same thing, you know, but you're gonna allow that to be happen, so you got plays and everything.
So you're
but-
setting me up there about plays
And-
calling.
Well, I'm good with the call, the wrist coach, because
I'm
I
good.
used them. I've used them.
I'm totally good with that.
I would love to sit there and if I could talk Coach Lane into let me use them, but I haven't got to that far yet, and I don't think I'll get that far.
But the
and
offense uses
everything.
them, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's easy to do. It's real simple, but you know, still, I'm not gonna go battle that one there as of yet. So, but you know, the shirts, you know, I don't know. As long as you have the same shirt color, you know, for Portland, you need to have black, gray, white, or purple under your you know, you don't need to be coming out with a light blue.
Or should it be black
pink.
since your shirt's black?
Uh,
Like have two shirts, whatever color
You know,
outer shirt we got.
Just
match
like
the inner shirt.
the wrist coaches, some of our players last year wanted to put them on their belt and then look down and look at it. You cannot do that. That's illegal because again, they're afraid somebody might get their hands
Right.
caught up in there and everything. And
My
I
kid, as long
understand.
as they know the rules and the rules are in the book, if they're makeup rules, like if it's just one ref decides he wants to do something different, then I
Right.
don't have a problem with that. But if they're laid out and they're in there, then
But what
know.
gets me, I guess, what really gets me is when they want to enforce it like they did last night.
and you know me,
Okay.
I'm anti. I just do what I want to do.
It
a lot of
just.
times. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You knew what kind of kid
But-
I was growing up. Like, can't do that, really? I'm going to
Watch
anyway.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But
that coming
to-
from me,
to
there's
enforce
people
something like
rolling over in
that-
their grave right now, old coaches of mine, like, well, where did he change?
To enforce something like that the way they do, but then they're going to let a holding go, you know, when it's obvious that a kid just got his jersey ripped off of him, but you're going to sit there and say you didn't see it or you're going to let it go because it didn't have nothing to do with the play.
I'm cool with that guy. Yeah,
You know,
that irritates
I
me
understand
to
if you're
death.
running the ball to the right and this happened on the far left end and everything to a point, but when it's really egregious, how you like that word, Kyle?
I did.
I get
Can you spell it? I
no.
can't.
Well, actually, I probably could if you let me to, but I don't want to do that right now. But if it's on the left end, if it's really bad, you know, call it. But if it has nothing to do with play, yeah, I understand. You know, no, you let it go. You can let some of the clothing stuff go. And the thing is, we had AB last year. We'll talk about AB. He wore a size small in the pants to fit his waist and his thighs. Well, the small would sit there. He was tall enough. He had a longer lower body. He was tall enough that the knees, the end of the pants would come up above his knees. And we actually had a referee sit there and say, you need to go get him new pants. Okay, so we'll put a medium on him. Okay, so it fits below his knees, but you can fit
But
another
his behind
person.
will be hanging out.
Yeah, you'll fit another person in there with him, you know, because the back end he didn't have it, you know, and so that's to me is just I understand the knees at one point was if you got hit on the knee, you have a cushion there, it helped. I understand that. To me, after having knee surgeries and watching the knee injuries, the knee pad didn't help Avery. He got
No,
drugged
and-
back
and the
down.
way
You know,
they're hitting
he
you
got the
nowadays,
hip
that
tackle.
pad ain't helping anybody.
You know,
with the way they're
exactly,
going at
yeah.
the knees like they do.
You're gonna hit on the side. That knee
Yeah.
pad, it's not on the side. It's on the front.
And
Look at it, still
a
gonna get
horse
torn.
collar is not going to help at all.
Exactly. So guess what? The knee pad does not do any good anymore, in my opinion. And so just remove it, and just sit there and say, let the pants fall where they fall. Because what's going to happen is everything is a trickle down effect from the NFL to the college to the high school. And so
Well, then it should
College
be,
and high
it should
school.
be here soon then. 'Cause
college and high
college,
school,
you don't have to wear the knee.
no, you
anymore.
don't.
They're up.
NFL, you don't have to wear any pads if you don't want. It's optional to you. You know, that's why you'll see the linemen will wear thigh pads and hip pads. They probably won't wear knee pads, and that's why the running backs don't wear, or the receivers don't wear anything. Most of the time, you know. So
Receivers are sissies. The running back though, I'm wearing some shoulder pads. And I'm
you're gonna wear the big one. You're
and
gonna wear
I'm- and I'm
the
wearing
rib
these little
pads.
babies right here too, because I just don't like to get hit in the ribs consistently. It is.
But I hate to go off on the referees here to start the season, but it just the guy last night. I can understand the clothing because they should have went into the locker rooms and told everybody, hey, that right there has got to be fixed. You got to tuck the shirt in, and they normally do that. But when he sat there and made that running back go back to the ball, pick it up, and hand it to him,
I didn't see that. How did that transpire? So who had the ball? The running
Westmoreland
back?
had the ball,
Okay.
got tackled.
Okay.
The kid sat there, and as he was getting up, he took it and just dropped the ball.
Okay. That's legal.
Okay. He takes about 2 steps away, and the big referee sat there. And when I mean big, he wasn't fat. He was built pretty nice. He comes up. I guess he didn't want to take 2 steps over, bend over, and pick the ball up. And he hollers at the running back and tells him to pick the ball up and hand it to him. So the running back sat there and looked at him for a
No,
second.
Your job's
Then he
to-
sat there and picked the ball up, handed it to him and everything. And then the guy places it down and then stands back behind. I'm like, you're the one that called Portland twice for the shirts being untucked, and then you're going to do that to them. It was a sideline judge that called number 7 for Westmoreland for the knee pads or for the pants not being and kicked, put him to the side, and they had to bring somebody else in. So
Yeah, they're picking the ball up and that.
that
was wrong.
that just
And
irritated
like I
me.
don't know, in high school, when you score a touchdown, you can drop the ball, right? You don't
Yeah,
have
you're
take
supposed
it
to.
someone.
Right.
So that's cool. But on that play, if he put it where it needs to be, then the referee needs to go get it.
I mean, all he did was he got tackled, he got up, he had it in his hand, he dropped it right there. It's not like he threw it
Yeah.
5-10 yards
Well,
down
it
the field.
needed to be there anyway. That
So-
would help spot.
I mean, because he didn't want to sit there, and I don't know if that's you're gonna respect me, you're gonna do that type of guy. I just hate referees that do that. And everything.
No,
Kyle,
I
you're
agree.
quiet. You got any opinions?
I'd have to see it. I'd have to see it.
You have to go back and watch it.
Well, the
it
big
should
thing
it should
is,
be on there.
is referees, officials, all that. They got to remember they're there to help. They don't supposed to be the center of it.
Exactly.
They're getting paid for one thing. They need to call the game, referee the game, try to keep people respectful, but you can't do anything outside the rules.
I've reached out to
Like,
those.
thanks for calling me out on strikes umpire. Thank you. And then walk back. I just and
I try to get a referee here to do our show in the spring, early spring, and the guy that he refs our some of our games and everything, but
I had you head umpire last year.
well,
You didn't want him.
he
Les, he would have he'd been all about coming up here.
but
and talking
with
about
football,
baseball.
he had to call his supervisor, and they told him no, he couldn't do the show and everything. So again, we're not going to sit there and
Les is in
you know,
charge. He can say yes or no.
so we're not going to grill you on, but I mean, like I said,
We
it's,
want the referee that didn't call the illegal procedure against Henderson
2 years ago.
2 years ago. Yeah, that's the one I want up here. What were you paying attention to, buddy?
They all
Where do you
they
live?
all messed up.
Where do
I
you
mean,
go
it
eat
was
for free at? I need to know all this stuff.
we
during the
had
week.
movement on the line. We had people not set yet. You didn't blow the whistle. I mean, there was 2 or 3 that should have blown the whistle and everything. So
Hey, just a public
But-
service announcement. Middle school baseball tryouts is the 24th, which is on a Monday, 6 to 8 at the high school field. If you want to play, show up. If you don't want to play, that's fine. It's up to you. But that's the tryout date, so just be there. Thank you.
man,
So who do we play this Tuesday?
Tuesday we
Middle
play
school?
Schaefer. they beat Rucker Stewart, and then they went over and beat White House. They got a big back, number 35. He's a big guy, hard to bring down. He is a key to their offense. Um, they got some athletes. Quarterback is number 7. He's really short. Don't have a great arm, but he's going to end up just handing the ball off to a couple of the running backs. 35, one of them is their main one. But how they beat Rucker after seeing Rucker in the fall, we scrimmaged Rucker in the fall. They did not look bad. And then they went over and beat White House, and it just I don't know. It's I'm still trying to get used to middle school football compared to what high school was.
The games are quick.
They are, and the thing is
Like
I
two
just
possessions a half.
yeah,
About,
yeah.
Just
Because
standard.
everybody runs. It's like a 12-minute running clock, but you
Yeah.
only got 8 minutes. And what I told Coach Lane, I said I just would like to see Schaefer come here and run what we've seen on film, because
Why would they do that?
well, I mean Ellis came in.
That's the whole point of it. It's not to let you be comfortable.
Well, true. And I'll have to say, I'm happy with the guys. The boys have done great. We made adjustments at halftime, and against Ellis, they only gave up 29 total yards in the second half, and then against Hunter, we only gave up 39 total yards. And it was just getting going and getting started, because against Ellis, we thought we was going to see smokestack and diamond full backfield and everything. They came out in a trips bunch. And you're going,
And hats off
oh,
for that
you know.
team for doing it though.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
Middle school, I mean, it starts from the bottom and all rises. You don't want to change your offenses up the week after you run something all year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Middle school kids, they're not stupid. They're just younger, and getting them to just play and not think is so
Yeah.
hard. So when you start doing too much change ups, that could be a detriment to your team. So hats off to Ellis for even attempting
having
to
that,
do
yeah.
something different.
And they might have had that. They just went into the scrimmage going, "Hey, we're going to run this. That's what we're
Right.
going to do," type of thing. And then T.W. Hunter against Liberty Creek, they lost 28-0. And
That scared me.
the
'cause
thing
Liberty
is, oh
Creek
gosh,
made me love
so
it.
and then you watch that film, and they had their running back number 31 as kind of a wildcat. Is what they did.
Right.
So you're going, okay, is this what they're going with? Well, then they come out Tuesday, and they ran their split backs like they normally would, but it was number 5 at quarterback. So I don't know if 5 was new kid just moved in, or he was hurt, or whatever. He didn't play against Liberty
The
Creek.
good
for
thing
whatever
about
reason.
that, though, he only burned us once. After
Yeah,
that one
yeah.
touchdown, all the adjustments kept him under control. So the time or
Uh,
two that they were going to go with him to break it open again, we handled it. He didn't hurt us.
The defense gave up 2 touchdowns against Hunter, and
Well,
the
one
third,
was a very
the
short
third,
field in the game, technically.
yeah, it was the
kinda was
4th down,
over,
yep,
yeah,
ball, yep, and then the one was pick 6.
Yeah.
We threw a pick 6, and so, like I said, I'm happy with what we've done so far. It's a little bit different. I
We got
have
to
to
get a
kind
little
of,
bit rhythm on offense.
yeah,
Maybe I don't know all the kids there, so I don't know if there's a third option or not. But something,
well, we're seeing,
Burnett looked like he ran the ball good. We don't have a lot of this way speed, left and
we're
right.
good.
But I think
Yes.
the tackle, the edge, hitting that and then
Yeah.
popping out. But I think if we try to go to the sideline and then up, I don't think overall our speed's to that level. But the Burnett kid ran the ball really good.
He
Once
did.
he almost fumbled.
Yeah,
I don't know if it was a handoff or him.
he just,
But he was
yeah.
fighting as he was trying to
Yep.
grab the ball, so that says a lot about his ball handling. He's really worked hard to make sure he doesn't
and
fumble
then
the ball.
Willoughby did a great job. He's a great north to south runner and everything. He sees
Yeah,
he
he's just not
sees
gonna
very
quit
well.
if the kid
No,
will
he's
hand.
not. He's gonna sit there and fight. We've been on to him about trying to hydrate correctly, and you can sit there and go, hey, you gotta go home and hydrate, and you go home and you're drinking sweet tea and Kool-Aid, and you're hydrating, but you're not
But you're not
hydrating
hydrating the
correctly.
right way,
Yeah,
yeah.
correct. And so that's
But he's
something
a
you
good
try to
kid.
teach the kids also. You have to teach them how to eat and how to eat or how to drink correctly and everything. So
And there's times I like to see him too is when he's got the third guy on him.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
there's times that I hate to say the word give up, but should be a different word. You're conserving your energy. There's times that you're not going to get out of this tackle. It's 2 guys that got you.
Yeah.
The other one, they're popping you one at a time. Just go on and follow.
Yeah.
And just conserve that, because if you're trying to drag 4 guys, man, that takes a lot of energy. So
Yeah.
there's a fine line there between knowing when to give up and not to give up, and that's tough for any kid. But there was once or twice that he was carrying. I just think he needs
Yeah.
as an ex running back. I get it because you never think you're going to get tackled until you do. But there's a line where you got to learn that okay, this play's probably over. I'm gonna not try to drag them 3 extra steps because it does take a lot of work.
So we are down 2 players on defense. Starting defensive end. He's out concussion protocol. He'll be back with us on Wednesday, so he'll miss Tuesday's game. And then the big defensive tackle, Belfield.
Is that the kid who limped off late in the game?
Which one?
The Belfield was he
Belfield he's the number 92.
Yeah, he got hurt late.
So
in the
yeah,
game,
he got
I
hit in the knee and everything, and so he's out with a knee injury right now, just kind of strained MCL is what they're calling it. So he's been on one crutch. And then Allen, the defensive end, number 17, he had just played himself into starting, and then I don't know if it was early on Wednesday in practice or something, but he's out concussion protocol until Wednesday. We get him back
He
Wednesday.
looked pretty
So
decent.
he did. He really
made some good
surprised us.
plays.
And so he does really well with punching and extension and everything. Offensively, I don't think we've lost anybody there. And so, well, again, we're just still trying to make changes. And the biggest thing this week was for the middle school was attention to detail. Stepping with the correct foot, blocking the correct person. You got blocking rules on the offense. Make sure you got if he's in your gap and this is your rule, then you got to make sure you block him. For defense, I stressed them. I made them run between plays when we was in team, trying to make them do. I did them up downs and stuff, just trying to get them tired, trying to get them to where, hey, it's hot out here. I'm tired. I want a break. I wouldn't give them a break to the point of a guy coming in and subbing them out after 2-3 plays, because I wasn't looking for the backups to get reps. I was looking for the starting defense to get tired, and I told them, you have to be able to play tired, and you have to be able to think when you're tired.
Yeah,
We're going to get you your water. We're going to sit there and make sure you're safe, but I have to stress you to a point that you have to, that you can figure out that I can play through this. It's just like practice, so I can think, I can sit there and move and everything, and then I'll get you your break. And so we kind of focused on that a little bit, and we had a great practice. Matter of fact, we had kind of a competition Friday, and the I guess you call it JV defense / second team defense. The non-starters on offense is what we had. And out of 17 plays, now of course the offensive coaches said that they won 6 of those 17. Defense won 11. I think they only won like 3. And actually, they had situations. Coach Lane would sit there and say it's 1st and 5. You got to get 5 yards. So out of 17 plays, defense stopped them 11 out of those 17. And that's with the backups and some starters and everything. So it was more spirited, even with the heat. We did do a lot of the practice. Most of the practice was done with shoulder pads off. The only time we put shoulder pads on was when we went into team and we checked the wet bulb, and we were under the number of 92. That's the limit. I think we set right there around 89 and 90 was the wet bulb reading. So, but that's another thing you have to go through. You have to deal with the heat, and
Yep.
high school is going to have to deal with it. They got the indoor. To me, the indoor is hotter than it is outside, because outside you got a breeze. The indoor you don't have a breeze, so
That makes a big difference.
it does. And so, yeah, it's been a good week. I'm excited that school started. Sports are all starting up. I'm excited to go home and look at the schedule and see what we can get to and broadcast and everything. So, but got anything, Kyle? What's going on with you?
Just want to stay out until I get to the edge of the heat stroke, take a break, start all over again, get ready for the big match on the pitch tonight. Nashville SC, Inter Miami, first place. I know y'all are excited about that.
No, I didn't even know.
He's even using terminology. Listen
So
to it.
Messier's on Miami, right? Or is he playing for him?
Well, he's your enemy.
He's my enemy. Why is he my enemy?
Because he's not playing for
Maybe I'm
Messi.
from Miami.
Because he's not playing for Nashville.
Well, I guess I would be for Nashville if I had to be for one, but I don't do soccer. I'm not going to lie to anybody.
What do y'all got going on there? It's hot. I can't believe how hot. Am I just getting old?
No,
it's the
dude,
second time through. It was weird because it was this hot.
no, it's
a month
smothering.
ago or so.
It's
True.
smothering,
But-
man.
Right about July 4th.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it was this hot.
Yeah.
But it was like,
And like Miguel said, tomorrow's gonna be the hottest of the summer. And I'm
Yeah.
like, good gosh.
but
I
it's just
hadn't
things
been-
twice as hot.
So
this time
literally, I was out one day this week. I have no idea why. 10:30 at night.
through. It's nice at
Oh,
10:30.
I don't. It wasn't that night. It was. I was standing out there, and I really think I was fixing to start sweating just standing.
Oh yeah.
And then this morning, got up, went outside, and it wasn't humid, but it
Well,
No,
I got a
when I
pool
walk
pile
out of the
in front
house-
yard,
Oh,
and then I
wow.
got a hitting session with a friend at 4, and then I'm gonna ride my bike at 5.
hitting. Oh, what session?
A hitting
Oh, okay. Sorry.
baseball
Yeah.
at 4,
Gotcha.
all outdoors. Richland, that little hitting cage, the Hodges.
And I've
It's
lost my
nice.
pool.
There's a breezing. Where'd your pool go?
Well, I mean, it's there. Sorry. But it's
Got a hoe in it?
what does my pool and a newborn baby's poop have in common?
They stink.
They're the same color.
Then you don't have a pool.
Oh my God!
It's-
I
and
can't
it
believe you
happened-
just did
it
that.
happened just like just like that. Everything is fine. I don't look at it for about 3 days, and I hear the big frog family. I'm like, what's going on there?
We need some of the
And then I
frogs.
found
Can you
out-
transplant them to my yard?
I
My
will-
wife built
I
this
will
cool little
catch
thing,
them.
a
And let me
frog
tell you,
haven that we need some
People
frogs.
talk about rabbits. I think frogs repopulate about as fast.
Do cats eat frogs? Because I'm
Not-
wondering if that's why we don't have any
Not
frogs
mine.
in our frog haven, frog hotel that my wife built.
My cats
It
don't
looks
eat
pretty
mice,
cool,
don't eat
though.
moles, don't eat nothing.
So you're trying to get the frogs.
Yeah, we're trying to get her frogs in the little thing she built.
Are you trying to get rid of the frogs,
You're trying
Kyle,
to
or
get-
you just?
Well, you just don't want them in your pool.
No, I like frogs, but when there's more than 3 of them, I can't sit on the back porch. It's worse than a cicada stomping.
No way.
It's,
No,
No,
that's supposed to
that's-
relax you.
It
The
does.
crickets, the
No.
It
frogs.
was like white noise.
No,
Oh, they got so many colored noises
they
now.
got that mating call thing going, and I'm like, you gotta stop it. You gotta stop it. So, sorry. Sorry, I've been holding that in for a while.
No, that's what the show's all about, is getting your inner
Well,
feelings out.
I feel better now. Yeah, so I've got some work to do today. Yeah.
Anybody available for Monday to maybe do volleyball?
Nah, it's too soon. I gotta try to get. See, I told you guys once, like on the coaches show, I've got 4 cardio days I got to get in during the week, right? Because if I die, you guys in a year aren't even gonna remember who I was. So I gotta try not.
I think I will.
I gotta try to do what I gotta do for my cardio. So if I'm doing a broadcast every single day, then I've got no cardio days, and I can't do it in the middle of the day because I gotta work for a living.
Oh man,
Believe it
it
or
sucks,
not.
don't it?
What if you take a treadmill with you?
Treadmills are boring.
Could you imagine
I like my
treadmill while
bike.
you're calling?
And
a
you know
game?
why? Like last
You
week.
can do that little
remember
bicycle instant
Saturday?
pedal.
Remember Saturday?
You sit up there in the
rained?
stand and just do the
Yeah.
It
pedal.
rained Saturday, so I had to go inside bike.
Okay.
The air, it just you have no breeze.
Yes,
Even in your house with ceiling fans, it's just not the same. Where if it's 100, at least you got a breeze going on.
Right.
It's like really weird,
I
but
agree.
you know. But I mean, if you guys bring something, I guess I could try it. But then how am I going to sound on the air? Heavy breathing. You know,
It's like
it
your
might
car-
pick our
it's like
ratings
your
up.
car action. Like you're passionate about it.
Yeah. But no, and I'm not being rude. I have to have some me cardio days, and I can't get started for most cases until after 5.
I'll look at the volleyball schedule and see.
So
What we
the
got?
season's young. They've got another 2 months.
They
to
do,
play.
but it gets away from us, man. It happens that it gets away. We got to figure out girls soccer too.
And then Monday, I would rather have the cooler camera, so I'm gonna try to put a little thing on it to move it easier. So
Yeah.
give me some time to learn it.
You're good.
Did you know we got a camera donated? Stacy Lane and I'm not ready for the advertisement part of this, but Stacy Lane and her work group, it's right here. It's not here, but Stacy knows what it is.
It's right here. It's not
Yeah,
here.
her workplace, through her workplace donated a camera
That's awesome.
that we can use for TriStar something. It's a health place here in town.
Right.
But they donated it so we can use for middle school because we don't need it for high school. Because
Right.
Brandon does. We use the quarterback club's feed.
But we can use it for
For
middle
that.
school and any other sports that we want to go ahead and broadcast.
Right, which
yeah.
is like last night, Brandon, and I don't blame him. It's a lot of work just for 2 quarters.
Yeah, yeah,
But the fans in just a short time are now expecting video.
yeah.
And they're really digging it. So we did the iPad last
I need to
night.
go back and look at the comments on last night.
Yeah,
Just to,
but it's a really good thing. So this camera is supposedly more meant for that kind of thing
Oh, really?
than the iPad is. So
I'm
we'll
just
see.
excited because we finally, once we broke away from the radio and did this, we talked about doing that. It just we was going to give it time. We thought we was going to do it in basketball and never got to it. It just
Well,
we're slow. We're slow at
well,
it.
the thing about basketball is we were doing the NFHS thing too,
Yeah,
which took us a little while to get the push button worked out, so we wouldn't have live mics before or during breaks. But yeah, and we'll still do the NFHS for the basketball. I don't
Yeah,
think
yeah,
we ever
I-
talked about it. I think from day one we were always going to do the quarterback club's feed
yeah.
for the football thing. So that's a good thing on that. But I just think it's a good thing. It's just even when we do baseball, we might not can always follow action because on the baseball field you can't see past first base anyway on the right field line. But people really enjoy it. But
I wonder
last,
if you could put us on top of the press box there at
put
the baseball.
us on top of it. I'm
Well,
not
if you
going
can
up
build a
there.
rail up there, you know what I'm saying? Build a,
Yeah, I
put a
thought you
rail up
like
there.
air conditioned rooms though, buddy.
Huh?
How's that gonna work out?
Man, get a tan up there.
Hey, but we're gonna have to work out. We'll have to work out the window situation when the kickoffs start. Cause I like to hear the fans and the noise. So maybe I'll just lift my window.
Oh my God, I can't handle it.
He doesn't
What are
like
you
the
talking about?
in the press box.
In
Coach
football,
Miguel
in
doesn't
football.
like
You
the
don't raise
window.
the windows in the
Hey,
press box?
I don't know.
He-
I want it closed, man.
You know me. I want everything open, but he gets all mad at me. So, but we'll leave the window down.
I don't want to sit there and listen to these.
I want to hear. The
I mean, you
band.
hear it anyway through the windows.
I
You hear
wanna
the crowd.
but I want to hear the band. I want to hear all.
So
of it.
in the past, it used to be because we had the speaker right there, right there at the edge,
speaker's still
at the
there,
edge
but
of the
it
window.
doesn't kill you quite as bad.
And so that was in the old press box. That I couldn't handle that so
Right.
bad. So,
But when
and
it
to
gets
me,
cooler, I even open that door.
just to me, when you're on broadcast, you want to hear your broadcast. You don't want to hear the fans yelling and screaming like they do sometimes.
I think the band noise out is there's very few fan the last couple of years. Sometimes you'll hear the fans complain about,
Oh.
but not much. And sometimes booing is good.
I can
Right,
we can almost,
Boo,
we need to ask the
it adds to
coaches.
the
Part of the-
broadcast.
part of
Yeah.
We need to ask coaches if we can swap booths and everything. Let the coaches be on the end that we're in, and we'll take that one down by the band because that is. I can tell you down there, there's
But
not a
that was
hole.
one thing cool 2 years ago when the band was on the other side of the field. They echoed right up
Yeah.
into they were
Yeah.
louder because they were coming to us, and that was really cool. But I love the band. That's why Davidson Academy is such a crappy hole to place to play in because they have the speakers.
Well, now that we have our Wi-Fi and our power box, we can just sit on our
Yeah.
side and do it
yeah,
all.
but their
Yeah.
speakers they
Goes right
don't
there.
even listen to their band
Yeah.
if they had a band. I don't remember if they had.
They don't have
But
band.
we had a band.
Yeah,
And
they
you
asked
couldn't
our
hear-
band to play
you
the
couldn't
national
hear
anthem.
Our band, you couldn't hear cheerleaders. You can't hear anything because they're playing their loudspeakers the whole time, which is totally obnoxious. It's not what high school football is all about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think even colleges have gotten just way overboard with their
With the-
piped in
yeah,
noise
yeah.
between plays and all that. There's the part of the game is getting to hear stuff. Getting boos and yays and bands and cheerleaders and all that's part of the allure. And I don't want it to ever go away in high school.
Well, I know next week we should have some more senior football players. We'll just have to figure out what time they're coming in because they got cleanup to do out here at the stadium. And our pitcher day is what it is. I believe it is. So we got some guys coming in next week, and then the following week we have the rest of the senior football players coming in. That should take us into September. And so in September, I hope to have a couple September mornings that we actually set up at the PYFL and do the show out there, and we'll broadcast the games and everything, and maybe get some coaches up there, and I'd like to do that. We get girls soccer, and like I said, maybe the golf team. That's a good thing about having it on a Saturday. They don't have school, they don't have competitions and everything. So, and then again, you get back into cheerleading. You've got bowling will start up. What else do we have? Man, I've been trying to get the Saddleback, it's the Saddle Club, and they have just not been real receptive.
Well, remember I
to
offered up
messages.
Brax Taylor and he's a rodeo dude.
Yeah,
And I mean, he's famous. He's on the video that was shot in Portland. Yeah, so he's famous, and he said he would do it. So if you ever want some Cowboys in here, we'll get Cowboys in here. Brax
we'll
is
get them,
good,
get
dude.
them, and Emily. We'll bring Emily Hester back.
He competes. I mean, he's the real deal, dude. He was a really good baseball player, and he's a good Cowboy.
But I appreciate you guys taking time out and sitting in the air conditioning over here, talking with the volleyball girls, seeing what they've done this preseason. Get you excited. I know Coach Meadows has been, it's been a hard 4 or 5 years trying to get a team built and everything. But it's good to see that she had no seniors, didn't lose nobody, and seeing that the preseason is kind of went their way so far. Excited to see how that goes.
My only thing, sorry for the Wi-Fi interruption. I'm working on an app that will alarm me that if Wi-Fi disconnects, then I'll know immediately. Because, like I said, the only other way you're going to know is if someone texts in, says the stream stopped.
Yeah.
Or if you keep your eye on the little Wi-Fi signal that turns into Earth, and I don't want to just stare at this no time. But I found an app that I'm going to download this afternoon and try it out. So that'll keep that. It's only happened one time, but I know it. So, but anyway.
Well, we do have the video this time. So I went in and closed out and deleted a ton of stuff that was on there. I didn't know was on there. Again, it's not ours. So, so I'll get that edited today, tonight, and try to get it up within the next 24 to 36 hours for the video there. But guys, appreciate y'all stopping by or coming in and helping. And as always, we can always sit here and talk about anything pretty much probably and have a good conversation, a good laugh. But it started, guys, fans, Panther Nation, it has started. School started. We've got the real season starts Friday night for the football team. Volleyball starts up in 2 days, Monday, for their season. A lot of stuff going on. So.
Emily, did you do this job? That's not good for your teeth, buddy. All right, so Tuesday, 6 o'clock.
Tuesday, 6 o'clock
game.
here, home game.
Even if you're here,
Middle
listen to
school
it
versus
anyway. Put your
Schaefer.
headset in.
Yeah.
Listen to Robert, me,
There you
whoever
go.
else wants to come in the booth.
Man, he's trying to. What's he trying to
Kyle,
say?
you're my buddy. Okay, just get over it. I'm gonna
I think
pester
I do
you.
that.
I'm gonna pester you to the rest of your day.
You can run the camera. He'll let you run the camera. He let me run the camera. I just kind of sat there and turned.
I'm gonna pester you forever just because I like you. Okay, get over
Oh,
it.
is that the reason?
That is the reason. If I didn't like you, I wouldn't even sit close to you. But
I appreciate
unless I was forced to. But yeah, you're a really cool dude. I think you're funny. You're cool. You say cool things. It's whatever. But anyway,
Well, we appreciate it, guys. I appreciate you stopping by and listening in again. Make sure you listen to and watch for Portland Sports Network. They're the home of the Portland Athletics. And as always, go Panthers.
Nobody had to tell your grandparents not to drive while using their typewriters. Why should it be any different for us kids and our cell phones? Distracted driving was the cause of more than 3,000 deaths in 2022. Come on, we're smarter than this. Let's put down the phones and focus on the roads. Drive safe, everybody.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.